Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I am doing some nails inspired by The Last of Us. Since The Last of Us Part 2 is fixing to come out soon, I figured I would do some nail art in celebration of the game. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. First things first, I am going to show you the demo on false nails I glued onto toothpicks, and I went ahead and painted all of them white. And for the first nail design, which is going to be on the index nail, I am going to go in and paint on the firefly symbol. Now, I have no idea where my little nail art brush is, so I'm going to have to use my dotting tool to do the nail art. I don't recommend it because it's kind of hard to control. Oh well, I gotta work with what I got. But anyways, so to start off, I am just going to paint on two parallel lines down the middle of the nail. So don't worry about the lines if they're a little messy like mine. We're going to go back in and fix them later. Now for the top part of the nails, I am just going to paint on the two wings as it appears in the firefly symbol. And paint on two little pointies on the top part of the nail. I'm now going to go in with some white acrylic paint and I'm going to separate the wing area from the bottom portion of that design. Went in with black acrylic paint and finished off the wings as well as the bottom portion of the firefly symbol, and used white acrylic paint to clean up any line work. So in the end, this is the best I could do. Now I know the wings are, a little more out here. However, since I did the design on the nail, it's very narrow. Oh well, but here's the finished nail design. And now, moving on to the middle nail design. Now, I actually was working on a Naruto nail, but I didn't like it, and then I just painted over it with white acrylic paint. That's what that bumpiness is. But anyways, I'm going to go in with some black acrylic paint and my toothpick, and I am just going to paint on The Last of Us as it appears, on the logo. And any for really hard detail, that is why I'm using a safety pin. It's a little bit easier to control rather than a dotting tool. And if you need to go back in and fix any mistakes, be sure to let the black acrylic paint completely dry before you do that, otherwise the colors will mix and make this little gray splush on the nail. But yeah, so here's the finished nail design. So now moving on to the third nail design, which is going to be on the ring nail, and this one's actually fairly easy. So once again, I'm going to have to use my dotting tool and some black acrylic paint, and first things first is I'm going to go in and just make an outline of the clicker. Once again, like I said, this doesn't have to be perfect. Just make sure you paint on a jawline afterwards. Just go crazy whenever you're painting on the cordyceps. And since I'm already painting on a bunch of fungus, I figured I would go in and paint on a couple of mushrooms because why not? Anyways, so I have the cordyceps spores up here. This black thing, I'm going to go in and paint on the teeth and the blood and stuff. And yeah, now the fun part, I get to color it in. So I'm going to go in with different shades of tan, brown, orange, yellow, red, and green acrylic paint. I'm literally just painting on a bunch of fungus, so this does not have to be perfect. It can be as messy as you want it to be. And don't forget the blood. So yeah, just add blood all over around the mouth area and down the neck. And of course I gotta paint on the teeth using some white acrylic paint. Whew, terrifying. But yeah. So anyways, here is the finished clicker nail design. And as for these little mushrooms here, they were completely optional. However, I painted them on since the cordyceps is a fungus. But anyways, here is the finished nail design. So anyways, moving on to the next nail design, I am going to need some makeup wedges. These things are super inexpensive. I got mine at Dollar Tree for $1. And you're not actually going to need the whole sponge. I'm going to use my tweezers here just to rip off a tiny little corner as seen right here. And with that tiny piece of makeup wedge, I am just going to paint on some blood splatter. Okay, so actually jumping back to the third nail design, I really didn't like how plain it was. So I'm just using some red as well as some darkish red acrylic paint, and I'm just creating some blood splatter. Now I'm going to go ahead and work back onto the fourth nail design, which is on the pinky. So once again, I am just going to use different shades of red acrylic paint, and I am just going to create some blood splatter. This is just a background, so it doesn't have to be perfect, so feel free to dab 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 it on random parts of the nail. Since this little pinky nail is dedicated towards the bloaters, I figured I'd go in with some brown acrylic paint and just dab it on random parts as well. Now that that's out of the way, I'm now going to go in with some black acrylic paint and start painting on just the outline of, the fungus. I also couldn't help myself and had to paint on a couple of mushrooms. And now I'm going to go in with the same colors that I used on the clicker nail design and just fill it in. I decided to paint the mushrooms brown and also went in with some red to paint on some spores. And here's the finished nail design. For the last nail design, which is going to be on the thumbnail, I am going to be doing the coloring book method. And what I mean by that is, I saw this picture of Joel and Ellie and I thought it was really nice. Unfortunately, it was really hard to go in with a safety pin and film me painting on the outline. So I went ahead and did the outline off camera. And now what I'm going to do is, on camera, I am just going to film myself as I fill in the colors. So now, looking at that reference photo that I showed you earlier, I'm now going to go in with a toothpick, dotting tool, and a safety pin and fill in the colors. And if you were wondering why I refer to that as the coloring book method, think about when you buy a coloring book, it already has the outline and everything, you're just, coloring it in, filling it in, and that's what I'm doing to this nail design. So yeah, we pretty much already filled in the entire outline, therefore you can say this nail design is done. However, me personally, I didn't like this little white gap right here, so I'm going to go in and paint on another firefly symbol right here. But like I said, that is completely optional, you do not have to do that, you can just keep the nail as simple as possible. But yes guys, anyways, here is the 5th and final nail design. And now, because I used acrylic paint throughout this whole mani, it's super important that you add a top coat afterwards. I decided to first go in with a shiny top coat and add it to smooth out all the bumpiness that the acrylic paint has caused. Whenever the shiny top coat dried, I then went in and added a matte top coat right on top of it. This is because I really like the soft matte finishes, but feel free to add whatever top coat you feel to your liking. But yes guys, so here is the completed The Last of Us inspired nail art. I really do love this game, like The Last of Us as well as Red Dead Redemption 2 are the only 2 games that ever make me cry like a baby. But yeah, I had lots of fun painting on this nail art. Let me know down in the comments what other nail art you would like for me to do on my channel. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching!